the little guy, little Lazarus that we've always said, some's called him the little beggar boy. How that he just crammed for the crumbs that was falling from the rich man's table.
Yeah.
Brother Brandon, he didn't get those. If he did, I never found where that he got them here in this life. But I'll tell you, friend, he went to a house that had a banquet table set far better than the table that fell from that rich man's. So, man, today I want to tell you, I saw yesterday, and I told the brethren, yesterday as we began to talk, I told them how I saw a picture there, yesterday on Facebook, Brother Ray, and I thought how well that it summed my life up, and it summed yours. And if you're here today lost, it can be the same situation for you. How the little girl stood, Brother Paul, with a raggedy doll, in her hands, but she loved that raggedy doll. Brother Josh, the son, and today there she stood before Jesus. I want to tell you today, friend, listen, if you're here today and lost, today and your life is rugged, your life is torn, your heart is broken, you do better to stand before Jesus than anything that you've ever stood before in your life. Today, and here's what I want to get to you. And we're soon going to bring our remarks to a close. Today, bud, she stood there with that doll. She held it tight, and Jesus reached out to it, and reached out and then was asking for it today. Today, men and women, Jesus is reaching out, and He's begging to you. He already done that, Brother Scott, when He died upon the cross. Brother Robin, let me tell you something, it didn't save a soul. Brother Paul, the day that he died, but it made a way that souls could be saved. So man, listen today, here we see where, he took, and here he was, reaching out, and the little girl said in the little picture, listen, but I love this God. Let me tell you something, Brother Fred, you loved it for a season, as you said. Listen, but little did she know, behind Jesus' back, He held a brand new doll, one that wasn't ragged, and a lot bigger, that she would love more. And that's what I want to tell you today, when Jesus has got a hand down, reaching to you, listen to me. That's when, if you would only put forth your hand, that's when He would reach around and give you something better. That's the thing. That's what these brothers have been preaching to you about, is having faith and stepping out in what God is reaching and offering you. It even started out with Brother Brandon, Brother Dan, preaching. Listen, why all king between two opinions, and that's about the way it is today, friend. Listen, when Jesus, knocks at your door, somebody said, well, preacher, does He have something for me today? Brother Paul, I'm going to tell you what He has. He has the greatest thing, man. You ever come back when? Listen, He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Brother Chester, he didn't say then I'd send people, represent me and knock at your door. He didn't say that I would do that, but I'll tell you what He said. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Jesus said, I'll stand at the door and I'll knock. You remember when He knocked, Brother Paul? You remember when He knocked on your heart's door? And He said like this, He said, I stand at the door and knock, and if any man or any woman would hear and let me in. You see, friend, listen, Jesus, you have to be willing to give up. Somebody said, what do I have to give up? You have to be willing to give up your very life. You have to be willing to give it all up. And somebody said, well, I don't want to do that. Listen, I just got a manicure, and my nails look too pretty. I just got my hair fitted, and my hair looks too pretty. It don't have nothing to do with that. You can fix yourself all you want to, Brother Scott, but listen, I'm going to tell you something today. Listen, all that's vanity ain't going to bang to me. Listen to the earth, but it's what's in your heart. Listen, before I die, I may lose my legs to walk with. I may lose my hand, listen to write with. I might lose my eyes to see with. But I'll declare, Gene, listen, Brother Randy, what Jesus put down inside of me. Listen, it'll burn forevermore. That's what I want to get to you today. Listen, friend, though the Bible said this earthly tabernacle be dissolved, we have a builder. Listen today, Brother Paul, you can do what you want to this earthly house. Listen, but you're in the morning today. Listen, it's going to shine. Listen, today, like the writer said, naked I came into the world, naked listen, God, I didn't bring nothing in this world. Listen, if I had to live as I was brought in this world, Brother Ball, listen, I'd still be naked, and so would you. But listen, Mom and Dad, they put clothes on me, Brother Darren, and they nourished me. Listen, and again by and by, but there came a time in Jason's life that I stood naked before God, and so did you. But here's what I believe today. When you saw your nakedness, somebody said, well, the preacher had to tell me, no, Brother John, I'll declare to you today, I knew that I was naked. Listen, in the sight of God. Listen, and I needed to be clothed. What do you need to be clothed with, Brother Brandon? Listen, today, somebody said, well, listen, you probably have to go and get bigger clothes, don't you? Yes, that's obvious. Listen, but I'll declare to you, that's not what I'm talking about. Brother Ray, Darren, your clothes wouldn't even hardly get halfway around me, probably, if I tried to put them on. Listen, but I'm glad of one thing. Today, listen, I have a robe on. It's the same size, boys. Listen, and it fits everyone walking if they want to. Listen, that's the thing today. Listen, I'm glad that God, listen, He looks at you. It's the same. Listen today, but I look at you and you, and I see one has dark, one has red. Listen, God don't look at that. Listen, He looks at the heart. One writer said, listen, I receive God is no respecter of person. But boys, I know it's getting cold. It'll wind down. Listen today, but I want to say to you, listen, I'm glad and I'm thankful to be serving a God. Listen, that He speaks like no one has ever spoke. And He walks like no man has ever walked. Listen, and He talks. And listen, Brother Scott, somebody said, well, listen, I've never heard the voice of the Lord. Listen, today I'm going to wait until I hear it. I'm going to wait until it yells and tells me get up. I'm going to tell you something today, friend. Listen, Sister Mariah, if you're waiting on that, listen, you may die dissatisfied, because I read where that the writer said, listen, bless the Lord, Brother Paul, listen, He's speaking a low, still voice, listen to your heart. Listen, today somebody said, well, preacher, how does the voice sound? I'm going to tell you right now, when my heart's been broken, it's supposed to be peace, and it sounds good. When tears fall down, listen, that voice is calm and makes you feel good. Somebody said, can you prove it? Listen, when the boat was rocking to and fro, Brother Scott and Jesus, the master of the storm, the keeper of the wind, listen, was right there, and He was resting. Listen, and the storm got worse. Let me something, Brother John. When the storms got worse in your life, did you move farther away from Him? No. Oh, listen. It caused you to draw closer to Him. Listen, and I'm glad that the more that boat rocked, bless the good Lord today, Sister Connie, the more that boat rocked, and they thought, surely, we're going to overturn here. Listen, and they said, wait, Master, no, don't bother him. But I'm glad he was already bothered. I'm glad he already knew how to live. Oh, listen, when he came on, did he have to yell out real loud? Listen, what was the words he said? Listen, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Listen, the day you remember when the boat was rocking on you, Jesus spoke, peace, be still. Listen, do you remember when you thought your road would never come to an end being bumpy and hard? And listen, do you remember when every mountain seemed like as soon as you got to the top and down to the bottom, there was still another one to climb? Listen, but when the Lord come on the scene, listen, today it said peace, Brother Robin, be still. Listen, today that's why you would be like a young man that when he looked at Jesus and Jesus said, come out, come out. He was talking to someone, wasn't he? He was talking to evil spirits. Somebody said, do you all listen, I'm telling you what, listen, give me 5 more minutes, Brother John. Listen, oh, somebody asked me one time, do you all believe in exorcisms? Listen, oh yeah, listen, I probably opened up a can of worms, didn't I? Listen, would you have it here if I took this book? Well, you'd have to if I took the book. Listen, because I didn't write it, neither did you. Listen, but it's what it said. Listen, it said like this. Listen, there was many a time that Jesus came and He cast out devils. Listen, out of people. He cast out demons out of people. Listen, and I'll tell you what, Brother John, you may not like this, but I believe you will. Listen, there was a time that you and I had that same demon, that same evil spirit. Somebody said, well, preacher, answer me. Quit talking in circles. Do you believe in exorcism? I'm not talking in circles. Listen, but I'm trying to show you a straight line. One that, yes, I do. Listen, you can call it that, or you can call it this. But hear me now, and believe me later. I'll declare to you that if you get Jesus, listen, oh, listen, He'll perform an exorcism on you. But I declare that demon won't be able to go back in again.
That's right.
Once He cast them out. Listen, they tell me, oh, don't eat no pork on Friday. Well, I ate some over at Brother Scott's house this morning, and it's Sunday. Brother Dave, listen. Somebody said, oh, well, that probably wouldn't be good than you going to church. Boys, that don't have a thing to do with it. No. It don't have a thing to do with it. I could have eat, listen, today, listen, I could have eat a whole side of a ham. Listen, and I just about had before. Listen, and it don't have a thing to do with that. Listen, today, but I told him this morning, listen, I'll just eat a little bit because if I go to church, I seem I can't sing or anything. Listen, Brother Scott, I could have not left you a thing there. Listen, but I'm going to tell you like this, Brother Darren. When Jesus spoke and said, come out, come out. Listen, let me tell you what happened, friend. The Bible says, listen, that man stopped. He stopped. And what did he do? He looked at Jesus. And I believe that when Jesus had come out, the same language was peace, be still.
Yeah.
Oh, the same language was, my child. No one would go amongst that man. No one would go around that man. Brother Fred, they didn't want nothing to do with him. Oh, but listen, I'm glad that when my Savior heard about him, oh, He made quick to go. No mountains too high, no valleys too low, no roads too long for my Jesus. Oh, the Bible says that the evil spirits ran into the swine, Brother Boss. You know what? The animals, I've often said, the swine didn't even want to have nothing to do with old Satan. Somebody said, what do you mean? They ran to their death as soon as they could. Even they didn't want to have nothing to do with the devil. Listen, we have that. Listen, but that's where some get that it's wrong to eat swine, or there may be evil spirits in it. Don't have a thing to do with it. Listen, those evil spirits didn't go into all the swine in the world. Do you have that? Listen, it didn't. It went in those that was there and goes on. Listen, let me tell you something, friend. You can plan all the naturality that you want to in serving God, and we all do it to a point. Somebody said, what do you mean you all do it to a point? We meet here, we sing our songs. We start singing at a certain time. We sing till another certain time. Listen, and then we get started. Then we have prayer. Then we do as we do. Listen, that's just the way we know to do. But I'll declare it to you today. But when the Spirit of God begins to rock and roll the meeting. Somebody said, what do you mean rock and roll today? I mean rock and roll. I'm not talking about Leonard Skinner and all them. Listen, but I'm talking about the Spirit of Jesus Christ. This time when it gets in your soul, oh boys, you'll dance like you never danced. Right. You'll shout like you never shouted. And let me tell you what will happen. When that gets a hold of you, you'll want more. You'll want more. Why do you want more, Brother Boss?
You're so good.
Because it's the best thing you've ever had in your life.